Welcome to the Rhythm Training for Pianists video series. My name is Anthony and this is the Piano Dojo. And guess what? If you're watching these videos or you're reading my book, then you have already succeeded by being curious about rhythm and coordination. But now it's time for us to put that curiosity into practice. And guess what? We're not even going to need the piano to do it. Rhythm and coordination are so fundamental to music that it turns out our instruments can sometimes get in the way of practicing things at that foundational level, such as rhythm and coordination. And so I developed this method to gradually learn and drill the fundamental concepts of rhythm and coordination without ever touching a single key on the piano. You will master syncopation at all levels of subdivision, and we will master the metronome together. The flow of rhythm isn't only about technique and theory. It's also a forward-thinking mindset that acknowledges and accepts the inevitability of making mistakes. Throughout this book, we will learn how to manage mistakes in real time because professional musicians do make mistakes. It's just that a mistake really only becomes an error when it interrupts the flow of the music. And so we will do our part to help master the art of making mistakes. Throughout my own music education, I often struggled with the lack of a dedicated rhythm training resource for pianists. There's a lot of really great drum books out there to teach you rhythm, but as a pianist, I would often have to sort through a lot of techniques that didn't apply to me. And so over the past decade or so, I have been developing this method for myself and my students to help pianists specifically learn about rhythm and coordination. And now I'm extremely happy to share rhythm training for pianists with everybody. Whether you're just beginning your musical journey, looking to fill in the gaps in your foundation as an already experienced performer, or maybe you're a teacher looking to supplement your curriculum because you've noticed that some of your students need a little extra help with rhythm, this book is for all of you. It is accessible and it is effective. Anybody can be taught rhythm proficiency, and with this book and this video series, I'm happy to help you do so. The first thing that you're going to need is a practice surface. Now, because we will not actually be using the keys of the piano, you can simply shut the lid of your piano and tap the rhythms out on the surface. You can use a desk, you can use your lap, you can use a drum, you can use drumsticks. It doesn't matter what surface you use, just please don't use your pets. You will need a metronome for this series. I'm going to be using a metronome app, but you are more than welcome to use a mechanical pendulum metronome, a digital metronome, or a metronome app. It's better if your metronome can go under 40, under 30 BPM. Sometimes we will actually need that. Again, if your metronome has lots of bells and whistles, we also won't need that. We just need it to click because in this series, we will be using our imagination to assign the metronome click to different parts of music. I would highly recommend that you stick to the order that I present this material in. Now, this doesn't mean that you need to perfect each thing before you can move on, but I would definitely recommend that you put an honest effort into experiencing each level of rhythm before you move on to the next. Now also, this video series and book is a general design. As a teacher, it's usually my job to work with a student to specifically find out where they fall in this curriculum and where we can start them, how fast we can move them through the curriculum, and all those different things. So because I'm presenting everything here designed for everybody, you are going to have to decide what works for you, what pace you move through the exercises, and maybe even if you need to work at a faster or slower BPM than what I am suggesting in these videos. When it comes to incorporating these exercises into your regular practice, it turns out that these exercises are great warm-ups. I use rhythm training for pianists exercises at the beginning of every single piano lesson that I teach. And so now, without further ado, let's get started. Thanks for watching this video. If you found it useful and you'd like to support the Piano Dojo, please consider subscribing and buying the book.